So the whole Kohberger thing happened in my first semester of law school. And I have lived in Idaho for 11 years so far. Don't know the victims. I have friends that were friends with the victims. But it was a really just crazy thing to happen to our community, especially at U of I. And so it feels very close to home because it happened at our university. And, sorry, I'm crossing the street. So I just graduated from law school in May, and I saw Dylan at my graduation, and she was just sitting there, and because she was walking, she walked, and it was really powerful because for her to do that, she has to have such a strong soul, to be a strong person. Despite everything that's happened, she continued on, and she walked across that graduation stage without her freaking friends. And I think about that, and I've thought about that every day since, and yesterday at the hearing where Kohberger entered his guilty plea, the air was just stagnant, and it felt like lead. I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss for words for how to describe it, because you had to be there to feel the room. And I am shocked that Kohberger obviously pleaded guilty, but I'm glad that he did, because, the evidence from what the prosecution laid out was very damning to him. And I don't purport to be a super expert in anything, because I just got out of being a student, but one day I will be. But fast forward, I was seated behind the families, and I don't know, seeing the families, seeing the people who Kohberger's crimes have affected, it's something that really makes it all real. Because I think that the media obviously has sensationalized everything, and it was a terrific thing that occurred. But it's different when you're face to face, when you're sharing the same space with the families, because it makes it real. There is an unlimited amount of violence that is available for consumption of civilians, and some people may use this Kohberger case as entertainment, which it's shocking, but to be there, it was very difficult to watch and hear the families, and hear fucking Kohberger with nothing, just say, yes, I understand. There was no emotion, there was nothing, there was no remorse, and it was honestly frightening. But I don't know, watching all the families and then seeing Dylan walk out, she and the families, of course, but I don't know, there's something about Dylan that just, I am so impressed And I admire her strength and her ability to continue. Because I don't think anyone could just do that. Show up, face the man who ruined your friendships, your families, destroyed good things because he wanted to, like, because he wanted to know what it felt like. I mean, we don't know. And I'm hoping that Kohberger will, I don't know, at least give the families some closure. I know that some of the families are deeply disappointed that the death penalty is off the table, and I can't say that I blame them, because what he did was horrific. But I don't know, I have a deep respect for those, for, you know, the families involved, and I don't know, it was just, it's something that I will never forget. And I think it's important to, you know, stand up and not just live our life, like, as a civilian, as someone who has not been, like, personally affected, even though it's touched everyone in our community, especially in the Vandal community. It's important to offer support, and that's part of the reason why I went. I want to support the families, but I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? So anyway, it was just eerie. And I went to the very first one, and it was just weird. You know, it feels like it's not real, but it's the most real thing in the world, because 4 individuals are dead because of him. But it's like, did this person right in front of me, is he a mass murderer? And it's like, yes. And I think it can be really difficult. I mean, I think in general, as a human, to reconcile that with a human being, especially if you don't think human beings are inherently evil or born evil. But I don't know. He's a motherfucker, that's for sure, and I don't mean that in a good way. But I just hope that all the truth comes to the light, and that, you know, the families can know what happened if that's what they want to know. But I'm glad, some part of me is glad that the surviving roommates do not have to be put on trial, because some of social media has just been so cruel to them. And I don't know, it's just really hard to watch people obliterate others online when they've gone through a significant trauma and they're just fucking keyboard warriors. I don't know, there's something about it that is just, it's kind of devastating. It's like, you think that there'd be more empathy, there would be some understanding, and there is in some pockets, but, you know, the trolls like to come out.